Welcome to Behind the Scenes at ID8 Studios, the place where we explore the art of producing art. I'm Steve Su with Crystal Obaki and our good friend and guest, Nainoa Andrade. Nice to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you guys
aloha.
too.
And you're aloha for now, but you're moving to LA pretty soon, I hear.
Yes, in like a month. It's
Dude.
crazy. There's a lot of stuff's going on, but it's well worth it.
Okay, you got to represent.
Yes. I want to make Hawaii proud. I want to make my family proud. So this is the next big move.
Good man, make us all proud. So your topic today is how to be a filmmaker in the music event space.
Yes. So I've been shooting music events, specifically EDM events, for the past 2 years. I've gotten to travel to Vegas and California to shoot shows out there. Fantastic, meeting so many different people, experiencing so many different things that I haven't experienced in like my 7 to 8 years of freelancing and doing this on my own. So it was a new space, but I got to meet a lot of good friends, and it's been a blast so far.
So what's the difference between filmmaking for that space versus like what we're doing
Like
in
making a movie,
dramas or
in
documentaries?
the film industry.
Yeah, film industry in
A
general.
lot of it, I believe, is just you're kind of going off of your own gut feeling. There isn't a structure. So usually when I'm working for an artist, they're just like, just get these certain shots and that's it. So a lot of the times what a lot of people do, they'll just get shots and throw it together. So it's when you're filmmaking, it's very narrative driven, where it's everything. It's like the mise-en-scene in it, right? It is very like it's there. It has a purpose. When you're at these events, it's like you have an hour, maybe an hour and a half to film everything you need for a highlight video, for videos, and for photos. So your brain's kind of running all over the place. You're just kind of MacGyvering as you're going. I think that's the biggest thing as far as working in this industry. And usually you work on your own, or it's a very, very small team, like maybe 5 people at the absolute most.
So are there different teams that are assigned to like the behind the scenes stuff versus the front of stage stuff?
Yes. So usually how a lot of those teams will work is that they'll have different people at specific parts of the venue. So they'll have people doing behind the scenes, like in the crowd. There's people that are on stage. There are people that are like, they're specifically editors. And that's how their team works. How I usually work is I do everything myself. And I have to run around like a crazy maniac trying to get all these shots, but still kind of keep it together. So that's
Single camera, or do you shoot multi-cameras?
I shoot a single camera, but I have multiple lenses that I constantly swap through to get different angles and different emotions I want to evoke.
So you're doing editing after the event, not during. You're not doing a live switch or anything like that.
No, I'm not yet, because I'm the only one doing it. If I had a team, then maybe, but most of the time I'm by myself, so I edit after the event.
So when you do you listen to the music before you shoot? Like, so you know where you need to be? Since there's no script, it's the music, right?
Yeah, so a really big thing is knowing the artist that you're shooting and knowing their big songs and when the quote-unquote drop is coming. And
Right.
that's when you want to get those things. So
That's pretty
The
cool.
drop, do you know what the drop is?
Tell me what the drop is, Crystal.
I know what, tell us what the drop
so
is.
it's like it's a lead
You
up of this.
it, dude. What? Tell me, you're a musician.
No, because you're like, you know, all these cool words and stuff like that.
That's
so
a
I
cool
wanted
word.
to quiz
Tell
you.
us what the drop is, Nainoa.
So the drop is basically, it's a climax right when I guess the quote unquote chorus kicks in. And usually I'm in the EDM scene, so the chorus is when like the main melody comes out. It's a huge buildup. It's just a lot of energy, and then doom, like it's dropped on you. And that's the part where a lot of people really want that. Like it's just a lot of energy, and people love that. It gives them serotonin.
Fry their eyeball moment.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of strobes, a lot of pyrotechnics, a lot of CO2 cannons, a lot of lasers.
So it's like EDM music, so you have to kind of time out when the drop is.
Exactly. And sometimes artists will kind of fake it. They'll pretend it's a drop, and then there's like I call it like a second drop, where like it goes, but it dips back down, and then it comes back up again, and you're just like, okay, well, I was really waiting for the first part, but I can go for the second part. And you are MacGyvering as you're going on.
So how different is it with a DJ who can have more latitude to improvise versus like say a band? Because their drop is really specific, right? They have all these cues for lighting people to do the thing at that moment.
Yeah, so I think it's a live band, if you have instruments, majority of the time they're staying exactly how all their songs are. They're not going to do anything crazy, so it's a bit easier to anticipate. When it's DJs, it's sort of similar, but they have the flexibility to mix stuff up on the spot. And sometimes even the videographers have no idea, and they're just going. I think that's what brings like the excitement to people, where they're like, oh, like here it comes, and then like it doesn't come, and then there's like a second one, and then everyone just loses their mind. So it's, again, just MacGyvering on the spot and just working with whatever comes your way.
I see. And then do you, like, how do you stay present to know what's
happening? It's difficult because as filmmakers, right, you're so sucked in getting the shot. You're trying to make sure your composition's right, the lighting's right, your settings are right. You're trying to evoke emotion from the crowd and from the DJ. I get lost in it sometimes, where it's all work. But there's sometimes where I do turn off the camera and I stand where I am and I enjoy stuff. And that happened at EDC this year. It was just this huge pit. I was by myself and just all my like melodic music was playing. And I just started dancing, and everyone in the crowd was just like, "Yeah, he's going!" And like, I got to enjoy it then, which is awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Are you scared if you're in a pit with all your gear?
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. So that's another story for behind the scenes. I got to show you about that. When I was in a pit.
A different podcast, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
If you guys want,
sign them up.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a whole different story. But no, because I love the EDM community, and it's a very safe place to be when you're with the right people. It's very loving, very caring. Everyone's looking after everybody else. Like if you need water, if it's hot, like someone has a fan and they're fanning you, like free water. Someone's bringing snacks. Like everyone's taking care of everybody. That's what I love about our scene.
Cool. So how do festivals change? Or differ? Because I remember seeing the documentary on the remake of Woodstock, and it was a big, horrible scene where people were not taken care of, and they basically burned the place down.
Yeah,
it was
I
pretty
saw that
insane,
one too.
right?
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Again, I think it's really on the community and just who you surround yourself with. There's different like parts of music where it brings in like a different crowd. So whenever we returned after COVID, it was kind of a mess because people were doing not so great things with their body and taking things. So a lot of people were ODing, but nowadays everyone has like the Narcan things. Like everyone's bringing that because everyone is now aware it's happening. And again, this community is all about loving and caring about everyone and making sure you're having a good time. So that's what I think is different about this community compared to, say, some other festivals that might be happening.
So how do you get into this industry? Like you want to be in the music industry. Like how do you sell yourself as someone who shoots events and concerts?
So the first thing I would say is you have to love what you do. You have to love making videos. You have to love taking photos, because there will be times where it's not going to be great for you. It's going to be a struggle. So I say the first thing is you have to love what you do. The second thing is you need to know people. You have to be good with talking. You have to know with networking. Same thing as the film industry. It's like if you know the right people, you can get leaps and bounds ahead of people that have no idea what's going on. That's the second thing. The third thing is probably, again, also loving the community, loving the music. Don't get into it because you're going to get famous on Instagram and all these things. You can, but you're not going to last long, and it's not going to be good for the videographers in this community. So just, again, love what you do, know the right people, and be willing to have times where it's not going to be fun. Like I remember the first year that I was filming events, I did all for free. It was a straight year, and it was like I would stay up to 3-4 in the morning editing videos like the same night and trying to get it out to the clients. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a period of time where you're going to be tested, whether you like it or not. And I feel like if you pass that threshold, it's doors are wide open for you.
Do you have a demo reel that early in your career?
I had from previous. So before I started filming events, I did because I work with other clientele before, and the company Hawaiian Bryans and also We Are Audiophile. They took a chance on me. They're like, yeah, cool, we like your stuff. Go ahead and film your first event. And I've been with them ever since. I'm still with them today. Actually, I have a gig tonight.
They saw your reel and asked you to shoot for them.
Well, I pitched it to them and said, hey, I want to film this event. I'll do it for free. Here's my reel. Do you like it?
Okay, so that's like a good tip for beginners to just go to venues or like producers.
I would say go to the venues first, because going with an artist already usually has a videographer with them already. But the venues is like for like house media, like a house photographer, videographer. They might not have one, and if you do it for free, it's like it's a win for them no matter what.
I see.
That makes sense, because if a venue lets you in, then you have access downstage, not necessarily backstage, right?
So usually when you're a house media, you have access to everywhere.
Oh, really?
So the green room,
Okay.
on stage, off stage, in the crowd, in the pit, wherever you want to go. Majority of the time you
good.
have free reign.
So then you can shoot all different types of media and prove that you can handle it anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just getting comfortable with where you're at is probably another really big thing I suggest.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any trends that are like happening in this industry?
Trends. So a lot of artists and management, they like what's called raw videos. Basically, it's just like, it's a video right when the drop happens and all the music is going on, and it's unedited in a way where it's like there's no crazy transitions. It's not like a recap video. It's just a clip. You can color grade it, you can EQ it, whatever you want to do, and then it's like maybe 20 to 30 seconds, and then boom, so that they can post that on social media just as Instagram reels or TikTok videos, whatever it is, just real fast turnaround stuff. That's what they want. That's the big trend. And to go along with that, they want it overnight or the same night. So you need a team with the same night, but I can usually do next day delivery with photos and videos. It's just, it takes time to get used to it.
Wow.
What are some of the ways you can promote yourself beyond once you get your first start?
Honestly, just knowing people and talking to people and asking them like, hey, do you need a second shooter? Do you need someone else like getting shots from the crowd? Because having a team is so versatile in this. Like doing it yourself, you can, but in order to focus, like if you can focus all your stuff on just being on stage and you know someone really good is in the crowd getting crowd shots, it makes your job so much easier. Just like the film industry, right? It's like the director's not doing everything. Like you have a DP, you have a gaffer, you have a boom op, and you have ACs and all these things, people working to make stuff easier on you, so you can just narrow and focus on one thing.
Having a team must be really nice.
It is. You usually don't get it though, usually on your own, but when you do, it is fantastic.
Yeah.
But even like on your own, if you look versatile, like you have different skills and you're a likable guy, you can play well with others, you're not a dick.
Yeah, basically.
Don't
just
be a dick,
Yeah, just
right?
being nice, because if you are, trust me, it gets around. It gets around,
Yeah.
and people will talk about it, and you will not be let into venues.
And conversely, when you're a team player, people love that in this industry. So
Yeah, we need it, because I mean, I don't know if the film industry is the same way, but there's a lot of toxic people. There's a lot of people that are
Yeah.
just like macho man, like I'm the best, and just like, bro, I don't need that. Like I just want to work with people and just make art, because that's what we are. We're
you
artists.
just want to pop that shirt.
Exactly, and just like deflate for a little bit.
Yeah, just stop it.
Tension. Oh, yeah. It's a lot of tension, a lot of stress.
Well, you seem like you handle all of this really well.
I try. There are times where I kind of crumble underneath, and I need to have like my little mental breakdowns. But I still come out of it happy, because I love what I do. Like this is who I am. I love the music. I love the community. So I will do it till the day I die.
And you get a front row seat to history. It's like you're at the happening, right?
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's fantastic. It's front row seats. I get free tickets to events. I get to be like right in front of everybody that's in VIP. Like what's not to love?
You're more than VIP.
Yeah.
You get all access.
I get to be in the green room. I get to like party with the artists sometimes too. It's like
But these artists, do you own all of the footage, or is it for like you can't touch them?
no, it's mine to do whatever I want with. There usually when I'm hired by an artist, there's no contracts or anything. There might be like some W-9s if it's really expensive, but for the most part, they're pretty lenient. They're like, as long as the artist or the management posts first on social media, like they get like all the bragging rights, like this is my video, then after that, then you're cool to do whatever you want. Yeah, I think that's a big thing that people are gonna have to learn if you're in this industry. Artist has to post first. The house people have to post first, and then you can post all your stuff on your own social media.
Can you use the content for other things? Like if you want to do a documentary of your own on...
I can, yeah. But you
called The
That'd be
Drop.
cool. Yeah.
usually I would ask the artist like, hey, like we're using this for like a bigger production. Are you okay with it? 99.7% of the time they're like, yeah, sure, go for it. Like
Actually, that's really good, because
Yeah, that's
you would
really
have
cool.
all this great talent that you can bill.
Yeah, and
Right.
and you totally have like so much content.
yeah. I think I was just thinking about this this morning. I was like, I think I shot well over like 70 artists.
Wow.
And it's just like, there's some of them that were great and some of them that weren't great, but majority of them are fantastic people.
Nice.
That's cool. Okay, well, that was how to be a filmmaker in the music events industry. Nainoa Andrade, thanks for joining us on this and giving us all your wisdom. I think it's pretty awesome. how do they find out more about you?
You guys can catch me at most shows at Hawaiian Brian's or the Republic until like January, and then I'll be out in LA. So majority of the big clubs I'll be there. But my social medias is at Nainoa Andrade. But like the last A, my first name, and the first A of my last name are like together. I'm holding like a glide cam. It's hard to miss me. Or naphotographyandfilm.com.
So maybe we can put that on the screen, huh, Crystal?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
we'll have that on the screen.
Yeah. And for more on this program, check us out at id8studios.org. Thanks for joining us.